Welcome back, guys.
Yeah, it's fucking Monday again already.
Game of Thrones cast.
Yeah.
Episode 3.
Okay.
We're back. We're joining us today is Peter Dinklage and Kid Harington.
Oh my god, that'd be so cool. That'd be so fucking cool.
We could fit him in here, too.
I know, right?
Wow.
Right under that
Too
table.
much?
No, it's
Right under that table.
That was the classic Mason. Wow.
Too much. You're right. I'm sorry. Peter, if you're listening.
Oh my god.
Just kidding. We're back. Today's Monday.
It is Monday already.
Today's Monday. You guys will be hearing this on Monday as well.
Mondays.
Yeah, fuck Mondays.
Except-
But it's over.
Except for this.
Except
I always look
for
forward to
this.
this.
Me too.
Right.
Me too.
Especially this week.
Yeah, no.
Episode 3. Trace just finished up.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about it at all. Like usual,
we save our good shit for the...
Very difficult for me. I usually talk to Jeff about it at work
Yeah.
because he's not involved in this.
Yeah.
But
Although we've offered him to be, but
Yeah.
he just doesn't want to
he
do it.
declined. Got a
Yeah.
hard decline on
Yeah.
that.
This episode, and we'll get to it later, but I've come with the help of my friend at work who is like a Game of Thrones like encyclopedia.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
read all the books and all that.
Oh, wow,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. He's like he read all the books before this ever came out. And he knows his
Sweet.
shit.
Yeah.
So with his influence, I've come to a dreadful yet slightly freeing revelation.
Oh, please elaborate.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like halfway through the episode, though, so I don't know if you want to go through the stuff.
Yeah,
or...
I want to know.
I want to see your theory. I want to hear your
wanna hear
theory.
your
And
theory.
It's
then
not
we'll
really a
go-
theory. It's something that it's just evidence based from
the
the
show.
from
and
the
books.
show that
Okay.
I didn't want to accept, and he had to kind of had to like tell me I was being an idiot,
Yeah.
and kind of brought me to a realization
Okay.
that I did not want to go. I was dragging my feet very much,
Uh-oh.
but I do think is a very truthful and artful direction.
Daenerys dies.
No, it is about Daenerys, but
Yeah.
it's not necessarily that she dies. Do you
Okay.
want to go into this now, or do you want to?
Let's go right into it.
I want to
Let's
hear
go.
your theory.
Yeah, I want to hear.
Anyone who's listening has already seen the episode.
Yeah, you peeked.
So it's not like a fan theory of like, oh, this is what I think happens.
me. Yeah.
Apparently in the books, and he did this to provide evidence to
Yeah.
me that what he was saying is true. And what
Okay.
he's saying is that Daenerys is going to be the villain,
Yeah.
Right.
like the chief villain
Okay.
that everyone's going to have to,
Yeah, I can
because
see
she's
that.
a Targaryen. She's going to become a Mad Queen.
Mm,
And he's
okay.
like, the show has not done the best job. It may have been on purpose.
Yeah.
The show has not done the best job of showing her slow descent into
Madness.
hateful madness, which
Yeah.
the books apparently do. There's like near this part, like right before, obviously we're past the books now,
Yeah.
but like when we're getting almost to this point, like the last book, she's like bleeding out of her eyes and
Oh, God.
having diarrhea and like
Oh, shit.
and like shivering on the ground, being like,
Yeah.
I am the dragon, and shit like that.
Jesus
Like,
Really?
there's a lot more going on in the books with her
Yeah.
psyche
Yeah.
than we're getting in the show, and a lot of that's because like she's kind of gotten shoved to the side the last
Yeah.
couple seasons, really, other than a few key moments.
Yeah.
But basically, he's saying that she's just like he put up a couple examples of like other shows. The one that I was thinking was like Breaking Bad. Where
Yeah.
he's the main character, but he goes from being a good person to a terrible person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can see that.
And that if you think about the reason that you're thinking that you love her, or I do, or people who are fans of her, is because she's done terrible things, but you've had fucking Joffrey on the other end.
Yeah.
And
Right.
It minimized
Shadow,
her crimes.
Yeah.
But, everything that she's done, basically I'm like Jorah,
Yeah.
and I'm wondering if Jorah will come back to her and realize that she's not the
not.
person that
I mean,
she means to be.
She did like crucify a shit ton
She's
of people.
burned a bunch of people
Yeah.
alive. She's
Yeah.
fucking. She's done some
You're right.
horrific things.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I think I finally started coming to this realization when the way that she was talking to John.
Yeah,
I was
yes,
very
okay.
disappointed in
So
her.
that scene, I was just gonna say, I'm like, I
That scene
saw the
is
little
the show.
glimpse of it. I saw the little glimpse of it right there, and I was like, why is she being like that? I was
Yeah,
like, what
The
hell?
whole bend the knee.
Yeah,
bend the
yeah,
knee
yeah.
and my kingdom and this
Yeah.
like and remember she used to talk about I'm going to break the wheel.
Yeah.
She's going to be, and Cersei refers to her as a revolutionary.
Yeah,
No, she's not.
yeah,
She wants to come and be the fucking queen of
Yeah.
the fucking Seven Kingdoms.
Yeah.
And
Right.
she's got all these ridiculous titles that go on
Yeah.
for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
yeah.
Just like all the other assholes that
Yeah,
have been
exactly.
fucking
How
over
about
this
after
country.
that title when Davos is like,
Yeah, so
this is Jon
wonderful.
Snow.
I love it.
Yeah,
love
King of the
that.
North.
King of the North. He got stabbed.
So it was one of those things where I was arguing with him for a while because I was like, that's bullshit, because I I didn't spend all this time with her to see her become the villain. But then he's like, but a lot of fucking shows have done that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
You know, it's the fact that they fooled you is they've
that was
succeeded.
impressive. Yeah.
Because like if it were just her story alone, just telling her story, we would have been like, holy shit, she's like crucifying these people.
Yeah, no.
They've just managed to minimize those with Joffrey.
Yeah.
Like shooting naked women with crossbows and raping them to death and stuff, and all the horrific stuff that he did. Like, so you're more shocked by that. And,
his villainy is more because it has.
She has some form of moral framing justification.
That's
for
so
it.
weird.
To your point, it has been more like in Westeros than it was in her story. So yeah, those events outshadowed her.
And she starts out as a perfectly. So then we got into this question of like nature versus nurture. Is she like this because she's a Targaryen, or is she like this because she's a product, she's gone through so much horrible stuff and survived so much horrible stuff? Because the best thing about that scene when Jon and her meet is that they think they know the other person, and they don't.
Right. Yeah.
She thinks that he is just another fucking king, another fucking lord from the north who is crazy. Talking about the army of the dead, and he thinks she's a spoiled brat who's lived in a palace her whole life and been told her whole life that she's entitled to a crown. Right. Neither of which is true. They've both been through the fucking worst stuff, and they both deserve to be where they are.
Yeah, Davos makes that point. This is the opening scene. Davos makes that point. He's like, Jon has got, because like Daenerys is talking, you know, about her struggles and all of her life events, and then Davos is like, Jon has gone through the same shit. Like, you know, it was like
he almost talked about how he was resurrected. But I just feel like, and I liked the part. The one thing I do say, I'm hoping, just I have this little bit of hope that like
the show won't
Jon will help her figure out. She's two-sided.
Yeah,
she's two-sided. On one, she's an evil, petulant, childish, violent person who's willing to do anything, and on the other, she's a moral person who is compassionate and cares about other people, and she's constantly flipping. That's why she's so easily manipulated. One person tells her one thing, she doubts herself. She's not actually that confident in herself at all. And like, I love the part when
it's all front.
She told him straight up. She's like, no, like I've been bought and sold and traded and defiled and raped and like all this stuff and attacked, and people have tried to assassinate me. Like I love that she just comes out and just opens up to him and tells him all this stuff about her, and Jon is like, whoa, okay, so she's not just some spoiled little brat like Joffrey was, you know. Anyway, that whole thing, I believe that is the arc that she's on. I think she is going to become the villain of the story, and I think she will die at the end as the villain. But that's okay with me. But when I said I would forsake Game of Thrones, if she died, I meant if she got there and was successful and she was kind of our protagonist, and then someone slit her throat at the end. That's what I was talking about. It was just to be Game of Thrones like. But that's different. Like, this is like an artful character arc that I did not see coming because I was too obsessed with her.
I get it, man. I get it.
I'm actually really glad you bring that up, because during their conversation, kind of like you said as well, how you felt like disappointed by the way she was acting.
I felt that way too. Really disappointed.
I felt uncomfortable. I was like, why is she talking to him like that? But you have to look at it objectively, I guess. Like, she doesn't know him.
No, he doesn't know her. Neither of them know what they've been through, and they're both assuming things that are incorrect about the other.
Right? Yeah, and neither of them knew the other one's intentions with their meeting. Really,
and the audience is empowered with that knowledge of their stories. You know, like, no, Jon, listen, she has no fucking reason to trust you. She shouldn't trust anyone. And opposite, look, the fucking Night King is real, bitch. And it's like,
I was both talking to Jeff about that. It's hard to imagine someone not believing the White Walkers are real, because we've seen them so many times.
Well, but of all people, she has dragons. Like, I'm like,
but Tyrion, who's an incredibly intelligent man, is like, okay, well, because you're Jon Snow, I'm going to acknowledge what you're saying, but if you were anybody else, I wouldn't believe you. And I think he even says that as well, but yeah, I love that whole dialogue.
It was great to see them.
On that cliff.
The bastard, or whatever, the greeting. What does he say?
Wolf of Casterly Rock.
Bastard of the North.
I like when Jon Snow's up on the cliff and Tyrion's like, well, you brood a lot better than I do. I came up here to brood.
So just to get into another theory. This maybe opening can of worms. We'll get to the episode.
This was a heavy, big episode.
And it's winding down. That's why we have all these like theories and stuff like that. So
Ice Dragon.
I feel
Ice Dragon.
I feel people have been talking online like the White Walkers are only there because Daenerys is there. And the reason why is because maybe they're saying that the White Walkers are intelligent and they've always been in the north past the wall and not touching humans or, the men and women of Westeros. Mm-hmm. And the only reason they started expanding south is because they felt Daenerys and her dragons.
That's interesting.
Because
I would have thought it was the opposite.
It could be both, either way, vice versa. But they're scared because what can kill White Walkers?
Yeah,
Dragonfire and Dragon Blast. So they're making this they may not even attack the North or Westeros or whatever. They may be just going straight for Daenerys. They're maybe trying to self-preserve themselves.
Because it makes you wonder what their motivation really is.
Yeah, exactly.
Because why wouldn't you stay there?
Do you feel like they're intelligent though? They're not just mindless zombies, right?
The White Walkers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're just not mindless undead people.
I feel like they have mindless undead soldiers.
Yeah,
the zombies.
The White Walkers and the Night King. I feel like they're obviously structured.
There's part of me that after all this, it's just so bad and it's so ugly and everyone's dying. And I'm just White Walkers just clean this.
Yeah, just gonna wipe it all up.
Just clean this up.
Clean it up.
Can we just start over?
Give a good mop.
Can you just kill everyone in existence and then just die?
Start over. I know. Start over.
And just give a Fallout thing.
I like it.
Start over. This has just gotten so rotten.
But the reason I bring up the intelligence of the White Walkers is because after that episode where Sam stabs that White Walker in the back and kills him with Dragon Blast. I think it was season 2 or 3. I don't remember what it was. But so before that, did you notice that all the White Walkers just were naked? They didn't wear any clothes or anything like that?
I did not.
But I remember that.
After that episode, they started wearing armor. And so the Battle of Freehold, they were all decked out in black armor and everything. It gives a sign of intelligence. They know. That's almost they know that they're not invincible. So
and they're older than
anybody.
Everybody.
There's the children of the forest who created them. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
We know that. So the only thing that's older is the children of the forest.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and they created because men were killing them all.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's usually how it goes.
God damn it! I know.
It's usually how it goes.
So let's go to the episode.
Jump in.
So we talked a little bit about the very opening scene was Daenerys meeting Jon Snow. We talked a little bit about that.
Yeah,
it was uncomfortable. It was very uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable.
It was not what we expected, not what we wanted. I should say,
which is good. I mean, it would have been a little disappointing if they just.
We're best friends now.
They hugged, and they're like, "Oh."
Surprised me. I mean, this is realistic.
Right. Yeah.
Neither of them have any reason to trust each other.
Do you think that Jon Snow? This is my theory. Jon Snow is the true protagonist to the song because he is.
To ask you about this.
Fire and ice because he's Targaryen and Stark.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's what Melisandre. So they pan to Melisandre on the cliff talking to Varys. And her whole thing was I finally introduced fire and ice, and I was interesting. I was wait, they don't know Jon is an actual Targaryen.
No.
Yeah. So I'm dude, that's interesting.
And I was going to bring that up too because I wanted to ask you as far as the last portion of my idea that she is the villain of the story or will become the villain of the story. Is I think she's going to go off the cliff when she finds out she's not the last Targaryen.
Yeah.
Because she said, I am the last one!
Yeah.
And that obviously meant more to her than anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then suddenly she finds out she's got a nephew.
Yeah.
I feel like that she's going to try to kill him.
Yeah.
When she finds out.
Yeah, I think that's...
She's going to... She's gone through so much.
Because he has claim over her for the crown, because... the firstborn boy, because Rhaegar was her older brother, and then Jon Snow is his son.
Yeah,
right? So he has claim.
Nephew.
Yeah, so he has claim.
Would he?
Yeah, because
nephew
Rhaegar.
and aunt?
No, because
she's still part of the line of the king.
Yeah, but if Rhaegar was the next to succeed Aegon,
so it would be his son.
But his son.
Okay,
so
you're right.
Yeah, so it would be his claim. So you
and she spent everything. Her whole story and all the shit that she's gone through has been based on her being the Targaryen queen.
Right.
And then you meet this guy who's like, oh yeah, by the way, he's your nephew, he's in line.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm the mother of fucking dragons.
Yeah, her persona would just shatter.
Right?
Yeah,
I mean, how could it not?
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that, which is really fucking tragic.
I know, it's really sad.
I don't want to see her, I don't want to see them fight. I don't
don't feel like Jon would fight. He's like,
Well, he'd fight if he's
he has to survive. He will. You know what I mean?
If dragons start burning down Winterfell, he's going to have to
that
fight.
one scene, though, I want to bring up the one scene I liked, or one line I liked from that scene between the dialogue between those two. He's like, "Why should I follow you? I don't even know you."
Yeah.
You know, I was like, "Fuck yeah!" And she's like, "Fair enough."
Yeah,
you know,
and
like,
I love that.
She's smart enough.
Yeah,
she's smart.
Yeah.
They're the two best characters.
Yeah.
Oh well, Tyrion's great too.
Tyrion's fantastic.
But as far as me as characters on the top of the leader, the kings and queens left. Totally. They're the only two that could possibly do this thing.
Yeah. I like when he's walking out and he's like, "Am I your prisoner here?" And she's like, "Well, not yet."
Yeah,
not yet.
I just love it, dude. I love their dialogue.
And then, so after that, it pans to Sansa, right? In the north?
We're going to jump around every time.
I can never remember the exact sequence.
I think it pans to Sansa in the north,
She's
of course.
Amazing.
Dude, a great leader, yeah. She's like giving out orders and everything, but Littlefinger.
Motherfucker.
Littlefinger. He's planting those seeds, man. Planting the seed. Yeah. I'm like,
I don't think that's gonna last too much longer.
Yeah, you don't think so?
Not now that Bran's there.
Bran knows everything.
He's so much
smarter. I know. Dude, Bran shows up, and then Sansa like hugs him and embraces him.
They played that wonderful music.
Yes.
Theme, the northern theme. Oh god.
But Bran is different.
What about his personality?
He isn't Bran.
He's just not Bran anymore.
He's the three-eyed
Raven. Yeah. He sounds so wise and like he's just like has no emotions.
I didn't like how it was just sort of a personal thing. Then this happens with a lot of shows.
Yeah.
She's like, "What happened?" And he's like, "Three-eyed Raven." Like, can you just fucking explain?
I know.
There's a fucking wizard who lived in the cave who can see all things, and he trained me, and then he died, and now I'm him.
Yeah.
Like, just tell him.
Because he's like, the Three-eyed Raven said, but she's like, I thought you were the Three-eyed Raven.
It's confusing.
Like, burr. He's like, well, you wouldn't.
That kind of thing always.
You wouldn't understand.
But he's just like, he just doesn't have.
He doesn't have time to explain it to her. You know,
he's like God, right? He's just too busy to deal with everything that's going on.
So it goes to that. And
I have a question for you guys resolving that. Not to interrupt you, Kevin. So, I mean, he's different than when they headed towards the north towards Winterfell rather to get past the wall. I mean, when they started that journey, he had a bit of a personality. Now he does not.
No.
So the whole time is he like mentally training?
No.
Is that what's happening? Is there something?
I don't know.
Some kind of evolution going on inside?
No, I think he went from looking at the world through a pinhole to walking outside.
He just had that revelation.
You wouldn't be. I mean, think about Dany in season 1 and Dany now.
Yeah.
Imagine
he
that
went
like
from
tenfold
1 to 7.
Yeah, imagine that tenfold. Dude,
one moment,
right?
You know,
dude, just to know like the universe, you know, like just everything that's gonna happen.
It would be like if you were watching the first couple seasons or the first couple episodes of the first season of Game of Thrones as a viewer, and then suddenly you had a dream and you knew all of everything that's gonna happen, and now you're watching season 2 and you're like. I already know what's happening.
What am I doing? Yeah, totally. That makes sense.
So, what do you think his powers? He elaborated a little bit what he's like, I know everything. And I'm like, but he didn't tell her that he knows the past or the present or even the future.
Didn't he say something?
He
mentions her into the past or something?
He mentions her wedding dress.
Yes.
Yeah. Is he talking about when she was married to
Ramsay?
Yeah.
Is that what he's talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was like, because it happened, in the castle, she got defiled and all that stuff. And
that's why it seemed weird to me that he'd bring that up.
Yeah, because he knows what happened. And that's why she's like, how the fuck do you know that?
Yeah,
you know?
He's sort of like demonstrating
his power. Yeah, exactly.
He's not just crazy.
But that's what I'm saying. He only demonstrated the past, not the future. You know, I feel like he... I don't know, maybe could see the future. Yeah. I feel like he has more powers than just like getting into animals and people and seeing the past and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, he could potentially be the most powerful being in this whole show.
Yeah, exactly.
Is this too far reaching is it possible for him to warg into a dragon?
That I was just gonna say that. I was like,
I didn't want to get I'm always joking about the ice dragon thing. Like I know it's not gonna, but I think it's funny and I think it'd be cool. But like this, I'm kind of totally serious about. Like, is that something that could happen?
Dude, like before that, remember the other warg? Remember the other warg, the wildling guy? He can only go into creatures.
Yeah.
And then they're like, you can warg into a person like that. They've never even heard of that.
A totally different
different level. Like I
just
feel
a
like
different
he could.
spectrum of.
They're like, you can't just control people. That's really like how you know. So I think he has more powers than.
I think that could get cool. That could get really
that for me that should be the only thing that can kill a dragon.
Yeah.
They allude yet again with Cersei
to the crossbow.
So I think that was actually the next part.
Oh, that was you're right.
Euron riding his horse into the throne room.
Yara.
Yeah, with Yara and what's her name? I never remember her name.
I say Dornish.
No, Illyria. Illyria. Yeah. And they're all like chained up and everything like that. And then,
oh my god.
That was just like a repeat of like the fifth season where like Cersei marched to the streets, and I was like, the walk of shame. Everyone's throwing food and spitting on them and stuff like that. And then he quotes, he's like, "Look at them cheering for Greyjoy," and I was like,
"We're already at 21 minutes."
That fucking the mob is so retarded.
I know, and Jamie alludes to that. Dude, Jamie alludes to that. That was so well made. Like. I really dislike Euron. Like, his character is so one-dimensional so far.
Psychopath.
Yeah, he's one-dimensional.
Okay. Yeah, but I like him more than when we first talked about him when he was introduced, and we're like, what is he even doing?
Yeah.
Why does he have leather pants on?
Yeah.
Like, now he's a little more developed, but I agree with you. I still don't like his character.
There's no redeeming characteristic about him. He's just a one-dimensional character. Yeah, he's just a piece of shit, And I'm like...
I feel like he's kind of throwaway.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like the opposite of Grey Worm in the sense that, like, if either of them die, it's like, oh, that sucks.
I really like Grey Worm, though. Like, but I feel like his end is coming, especially with what happened.
I liked Bronn, too, but you're not missing him really right now. You know what I mean? He's a minor character. And both of them, I feel like Euron is just like an evil version of Grey Worm. He's just like... There he is, doing his thing.
We did see a little bit of Bronn.
We did see Bronn. Which brought up the question.
Oh, okay. Let's go over the battle plan. What they had, the Khaleesi, Daenerys battle plan, fucking shit.
Yeah.
It was really, like, has no one ever heard of like a dude on horseback?
No, right? I was like, where's the messengers at?
Go look at this shit before you commit your entire army to a...
dude on horseback.
Or send a ship.
A scouting ship to do something.
I mean, because if they can get from one side to the other within an episode.
It's just so unfortunate because Castle Rock is on the complete opposite side of the Dragonstone.
Right.
And then so what happened was the Lannisters split up their army. Half stayed at, or not even half stayed at the Castle Rock, and the other half marched to Highgarden. Did what
Robb Stark did to him.
Yes, exactly. He mentioned that he basically just took half of his army. We did see Sam's dad and Bronn leading the army with Jamie.
Yeah, to the Tyrell.
To the Tyrell, to Highgarden.
That's at the end, though.
To the end, yeah.
Quick, and we didn't stick with the throne room because then she goes to the dungeons.
Oh and then
with Illyria and her daughter.
Yes.
And talks about everything. Killing of Marcella.
That scene, dude.
Yeah. And then she's got the poison on her lips, and she kisses her daughter with the poison.
And then talks, and they're both chained together in the same room. If you haven't seen it, and they're forced to look at each other.
And
and she's gonna have to watch her die. And that ending part when they're trying to reach each other, I was like, dude,
they're
both just screaming through the gags, like, oh god,
it's so sad,
it's so dark.
Yeah, I was like, and then she before that she got a visit from the Iron Bank. The Bravos and like a representative there, and she's all like, "Just give me a fortnight, and I'll repay every debt." I'm like, and then that's why they marched to Highgarden.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Because they have they backed the whole, everything.
Yeah,
they're like the biggest backers. Them and the Lannisters are like the richest people.
So. We didn't get to see any Arya.
Arya, but then it goes. I believe it goes to Sam at that point.
Yeah, Sam and Jorah
and Archmaester.
Yeah. Dude, I was
very grumpy old Archmaester.
I know. I actually was very.
I'll bring it up in a second.
I was very surprised that he was not upset at Sam.
My favorite part, he's men have tried this before and it failed. What did you do differently? I read the instructions.
Yeah.
And then I did what it said. I was like, oh, interesting.
I like the part when he's like prodding Jorah. He's like,
yeah.
I like this old guy.
I love the weird kind of prod thing.
He's like, it just healed on its own. And Jorah like,
I guess it was the rest.
Yeah, it was the rest. Yeah. But it was good, and that was a good heartfelt.
So we assume
Jorah.
Nice
to get a little
and then Sam and Jorah had a little dialogue, and they're like, hopefully our paths will cross again.
Which they will.
And then they shook hands.
Yeah,
and that right there is like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I hope he's cured. Let's put a glove on, huh?
I know, right?
But yeah, we assume he's cured now.
Yeah, he's cured now.
Thus, as Ian mentioned earlier, probably making his return to Daenerys to find out maybe she's not the woman he loved.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I mean, if he's like me, he's gonna start realizing it.
Yeah,
dude, I know.
He's fall victim to his Stockholm syndrome.
I know, right? What scene is after that?
Yeah, there's a lot going on. I think that's when we see Sansa at that point. After Sam and after the throne room and all of that. And then Littlefinger does his thing where he's talking about her.
Hit him.
Just the shit he's saying. I can't believe it's affecting her. I kind of wish the writers would give her a little bit more credit.
Yeah.
I feel like she should just be like, ugh, and just walk out.
Yeah, because she knows him.
I'm just tired.
She knows what he does. She knows his plan.
Because, that's what I'm saying is, because, in the first couple seasons, his advantage is that people underestimate him.
Yeah.
But she doesn't.
Yeah.
She knows what his game is, so it's just weird that he's able to affect her so much.
I don't think he is affecting her. I think maybe she's just playing along to, give him,
maybe, yeah.
We'll see. I want to hope for the best, basically,
totally.
but...
And do you think Arya actually turned back around south?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
So do I. I think the It's Not You thing, which is about the dog and about her remembering, what am I going to do when I get to Winterfell?
Yeah, nothing.
Get married.
You're going to get castle back exactly. In training to be a real woman.
So I think next week we'll see her, and she's actually headed south again.
Interesting.
So she's going to die this season.
Okay, so then after that whole scene with Cersei in the dungeon, she goes up and... Fucking just Cersei and her brother
sticks
Jaime
her finger in his ass.
He
sucks his dick. I was like, wow.
She does do that.
She gives no fucks now.
No
she
fucks.
opens the door to her servant.
The fact that turned her on.
Yeah.
Killing this young woman in front of her mother.
Fucking insane, right?
Well, I mean, remember Jaime when they were in the room when Joffrey died?
Yeah.
They fucked right next to his dead body.
Jaime's.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're both a little.
They're both
kinky.
extremely fucking crazy.
So but you're right. They did that, and then when they get up, someone knocks on the door, assuming some kind of maid, and he's like, "Wait, let me get dressed." And they can't see us, and she just doesn't give a fuck.
No, she's like, I'm the queen of the Seven Kingdoms. Yeah.
What fucking nipples free? Just opens it. No, I think she puts a robe on, but he's just laying there like.
Hello. But dude, I feel like it's setting up to be like Jaime might have to be the Kingslayer again.
And this kind of touches back on the scene with Euron and Yara. I wanted your guys' opinion on something I thought about earlier. Is I have a weird feeling I don't think Yara's gonna die.
I don't think so.
I think
they would have killed her right then.
Yeah.
Right, and I have a theory that Jaime lets her go. Only because I think it makes Euron look bad.
Yeah.
For Cersei.
Dude, that's a good point.
He hates that Euron and Cersei.
Because
Cersei was flirting a little bit.
Oh,
I mean, it's part of her plan.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there was
I don't think
little...
she has any intention.
I don't think so either, but there was a little...
She'd get that guy into bed and kill him. Then.
Exactly. Yeah. But either way, he would think something was going his way, and I know Jaime hates him for that.
Yeah. I would love for her to kill him, because he has no clue what he's messing with.
Yeah, right?
She's basically Joffrey now?
Yeah. He thinks he's like some big shit, and
he's like a little kid who was given a lot of power.
Yeah,
and now he's like, oh, I'm fucking awesome.
Very one-dimensional character.
Yeah.
He doesn't understand.
I don't think he makes it very well.
No, I think you're right. That's a great point. Maybe
just something I thought about. I don't know.
Or like Theon. I feel like Theon's gonna have to redeem himself. Like,
they showed him for a second.
They showed him for a second.
They pulled him up on a ship.
And his fellow Ironborn are like, if you tried, you wouldn't
be dead.
Yeah.
Which is totally true.
Yeah,
totally true. But if he tried, they'd both be dead.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Like,
it wouldn't have worked.
The axe was right at her throat.
Yeah, the guys just weren't thinking.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But
I feel like he's on the path to redemption. Is what
I hope so.
I feel like the story is going to portray. Like since
he's like this.
Yeah, ever since he's gotten back from being Reek. He's just been like seeking redemption through death. Like he's like, I want to die, I want to die, I want to die. But Yara's like, no, you have to be my brother, and you have to protect me and all that stuff. And he's like, oh, okay. And
let me die.
Yeah, he's like, he wants to die.
Do you think he will bust her out or something?
I think he will do something to redeem himself and then die. I think that's what he'll do.
Yeah.
So
he'll play a big role and then go out as a hero.
Yeah, play some because he is heartbroken that he betrayed Rob and he caused Rob to die. Basically,
still did it.
Yeah, and then
did a lot of shit.
Yeah, he did a lot of shit. And I was just saying, he's made so many mistakes, as much as anyone has in this show. So,
totally.
But yeah, I think there's a good little tidbit there. But then the final 15 minutes was one of my favorite scenes. There's the battles, plural.
I liked the narration.
Yes, yeah.
During the fight was really cool.
Yeah, especially the Unsullied fleet got to Castle Rock.
Didn't bother to go check that out first.
I know, right? They believe Tyrion because Tyrion gave him all the info.
Do you think Tyrion? Do you think that he's a little bit personally compromised right now?
I think so.
By what?
Yeah,
because they've been talking about, and again, a lot of this I'm getting from Drew. He's helping me kind of realize these thoughts at work.
It sounds like he knows what he's talking about.
He does, but he's they've been getting all of their war information from Tyrion, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you got to do this, got to do this, and they've already openly admitted that it's not a strategically. Even Jaime's like, oh. You know, I would prefer not to give it up.
Yeah, Castle Rock is like it's worth nothing.
They're all in King's Landing.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense.
And it's Castle Rock.
I feel like it's either bad writing or Tyrion is not like on purpose, like scheming, but just personally compromised.
Yeah, I think he wanted to take Castle Rock. Yeah, I think he wanted the Castle Rock to not only make the Lannisters look bad, but to compromise. He's like, because he said he's like, the seat of power is truly in Castle Rock. Did he not understand when his dad told him the gold mines were empty? And it's like, there's nothing there. Yeah. Why?
There's nothing. There's no reason to take it. Like there's literally.
Yeah, I would hate to think of Tyrion being like emotionally compromised of all people, but I think you're right. I think that's a really good point.
I mean, he shot his dad with a fucking crossbow.
Right.
That's
right. When it comes to his family, he'll do some crazy shit.
Yeah, totally. I think that's going to compromise him. But so the Unsullied attacked Castle Rock. They eventually won, but at heavy losses.
Yep.
And their fleet was basically destroyed.
By Euron. Here he comes again. He's just like a Deus Ex Machina for the bad guys.
I know, right?
Whenever they need a giant fleet to just cause havoc, there he is.
Fucking destroying them, I know. I was tired of his shit. Plus, when they showed that scene, I was like, did no one look behind them?
That's what I'm saying. Why the fuck
the ship just like...
Some of this is a little stunted.
That's how I felt the first time. But I was like, it was dark. Okay,
it was dark.
Yeah, I feel like the Unsullied might not be naval experts. They're just soldiers with spears.
Plus, I mean, they're supposed to be like Danish ships. Sorry, what's their name? The Greyjoys.
Yeah, the Greyjoys.
Are like They're like Vikings. They're Danes, so they're supposed to. So they move fast. So I mean, I suppose it could come around a corner or whatever. I mean, I'm willing to let it go, but there's a few things you gotta kind of look past to even and make sense of any of this stuff.
Yeah. No.
So my thought is, obviously Euron probably not going to attack Castle Rock. He doesn't have the means to. I mean, it's more of a naval fleet.
Yeah.
Do you think he just lets them die out?
He's probably gonna blockade it.
Jamie talks about how they only had about a week's worth of food anyway.
Yeah.
So you have the Unsullied guys that are left. Do you think they just wait them out?
That or the Unsullied are gonna make the decision to march across the freaking Westeros and all that shit. So I'm like, there's gonna be so few.
It's a lot of backtracking.
Yeah. There's so few of them. Like, it's gonna be ridiculous.
And they're not in a place that they know. It's really stupid.
Yeah, there's
all this is really dumb.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it was a good choice to.
God, it's so weird though, because Tyrion's so intelligent.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, he's not a general.
Yeah, he's not.
But he's so smart. I mean, even in the past, I mean, what he had to do with when King's Landing got attacked, and it was probably due to him that it didn't get taken. You know what I mean? And,
defending is different from attacking, though.
Right. So. Well, yeah, but I mean, either
way,
I
get you. Like, I understand. But this, I feel like what Ian said was he's emotionally.
Yeah. Plus, they're reacting. Also, you have to remember they're reacting to the first disaster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They had a fleet. It's gone.
Yeah.
And they had the Dornish. Yeah. They're not in and outside. Like, now they had to come up with something really fast.
I don't understand why the Dornish are out. I'm like, can't they just march their army as well? Like, fucking. Oh, well, their queen is dead. Yeah.
What do they do? They just stay stagnant now?
That's what I was like. Who's going to be the ruler now? Like, there's no ruling family there now, right? Because she killed all of them.
Yeah.
So I'm like, who the fuck is going to step up? I don't know, dude.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. And then so it leads into the second part of that scene. Highgarden, the Lannister army split.
Is it the end of the episode, pretty much?
Yeah,
did we miss anything?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so,
okay, just want to make sure.
It goes to the last part with the Lannister army. Scene. Yeah, the Lannister army marches.
You really like Lady Tyrell, don't you?
Olenna is.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
God, I love her so
much. It so pans to just Lannister army marching on Highgarden and all the fucking. It pans, and then next scene is like all the dead Tyrells.
They're all just dead.
Yeah, they're all like, and she's like,
easy fucking.
She says something about it was never our forte.
We're good with money.
Yeah,
we're golden roses and all.
Yeah. But, so obviously the Lannisters win, and then it pans to the scene where Jaime sits down with Elena, and they start talking and all that stuff, and he says how, like, Cersei wanted to, like, skin her alive and fucking beat her through the street or whatever. Whatever.
Gives her the poison instead.
Yeah.
I talked her out of those.
Yeah, gives her the poison in her wine. She's like, is it going to be painless? He's like, yes. She drinks it.
She drinks it
quick, dude.
Yeah,
she's like, with the quickness.
She's such a fucking badass.
Before that, they did
have some conversation.
They had some dialogue, and she's like, you can tell me any secrets you want. I'm about to die. It doesn't matter. It's not going to leave this room, you know?
Yeah.
So and then he doesn't really reveal much. You know, he does portray like the way he looked. Like she's like, your sister's going crazy, isn't she? And he's like didn't say anything, but his body language.
She says like she's going to be the death of you, and he's like, well, if so.
Yeah. She's like, oh wow, you really love her, you poor fool.
Poor fool. No, it was crazy. He's like, I guess he's in it for the long haul, man.
And then they set it up to make it seem like, you know, Elena's always been this strong woman, but here she's at her end, and Jamie's gonna kind of.
Yeah,
gonna win this one, if you will. You know, pours her, and he's like, "Here you go." Yeah. And she's even in her death, she still wins.
Yeah, no,
she talked so much shit
still
before she died.
Oh my god,
I loved it, dude. I loved how she went out just like, "Oh, by the way, I killed Joffrey. You're a piece of shit. He was a cunt, wasn't he?" Like, it's so funny.
His face, like.
He's like,
he couldn't believe.
I really thought he was gonna pull out the sword.
So did I too. So did I. Yeah. Or like cut her like slowly or something. Yeah. But yeah.
But fuck yeah, that was crazy. She's like, I want Cersei to know it was me.
Mm-hmm. And he's not gonna tell her.
No, I don't. Dude. Oh my.
No.
Dude, she's scary, man.
It's too late now. It doesn't matter.
She might go kill everyone in the city or light King's Landing on fire or something. I don't know, dude.
And
she's unpredictable.
Yeah, dude, that was crazy. That was an intense scene, man. Really, really intense. But
I loved that scene. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
So, and also, just real quick, I wanted to bring it up. I was talking to people at work about this, other than Jeff. So people who don't read into it as much as we do, or he does. A lot of people didn't know that Tyrells had anything to do with Joffrey dying up until she mentioned it.
Yeah, really? She made it very clear. It's been a long time.
It's been a long time, and they alluded to it before, but she made it very clear, you know what I mean? And a lot of people were like, isn't that crazy? And I was like, didn't you know?
Yeah.
But I guess not everyone picked up on that.
Because it was very subtle, because the way the scene, when he died, she, what was her name? Marjorie. Comes up to Elena, and she's like, she's like, grandmother, what did you do? And she's like, I
wouldn't let you marry that beast.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just really quick, and that's it. And
it's real quick, easy to miss, so it's not their fault. But I thought that was interesting. A lot of people didn't really...
The bigger picture is... two of the strongest allies to Daenerys is gone. Like three actually, because the Unsullied Army's gone now.
Like, that's what I'm saying is like none of this really. Yeah. None of this should matter.
Just
you have 3 dragons. Just go kill everyone.
Yeah, without the dragons, she's losing this war.
I'm just so sick of. I just want her to kill everyone.
But here's the thing. In the beginning of the episode, she said that she's like, I should just go fly my dragons and find their ships and burn them.
Yeah.
And then they're like, no, what the fuck? No, you can't
just ride them yourself.
She's like, one arrow could kill you. Why? This all would be for nothing. You know.
Totally.
And she's like,
and then you'd have 3 dragons to deal with without a mom.
Without a mom, just fucking kill everybody. You know?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, you know, it's like, so, yeah.
But I think, and I don't know if you guys saw the little thing for the, like, next week.
I watched it,
because it comes on, like, instantly after.
Yeah. I don't like watching it just because I like to...
I shouldn't, but I watched it.
They don't give it... They don't really show. Like, it's just super teaser stuff. And the only thing that it shows her saying, which something has already been said, which is what Olenna told her, is to stop listening to clever men and be a dragon.
She's like,
and she says, enough of clever men!
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So, I think we're finally about... See if a fucking crossbow can kill a dragon.
Yeah, I know, right?
Cersei talked about that again. She's like, I don't think they're... She's so cocky. I'm like, do you know what a dragon is?
No, because she's never seen one.
She's only ever seen dead ones.
I want Cersei to get eaten by a dragon.
That would be amazing. Amazing.
No. I don't want Cersei to be killed by a dragon. I want her to die by Arya's hand.
Oh.
Actually, I think we've talked about this. I think Jamie's going to kill her.
Absolutely.
Because that's the prophecy in season 3 or whatever. I told her that her brother would kill
her. I think, Ian, you mentioned earlier you think Arya's going to die this season?
I do.
We're going long. We'll wrap it up. But I have a theory still that Arya kills the Mountain. I think the Mountain kills the Hound. Arya kills the Mountain.
You think the Mountain's going to kill the Hound?
I think so. I think they have to meet.
The Hound's going the complete opposite way.
He's got to come back
north.
He has to. You know, he's going to be involved again.
We didn't see the Hound either.
No, we haven't in a while.
This is the first
in a while.
Yeah.
So I mean,
a lot of moving parts as usual.
Yeah. Damn.
Great. Best
wrap it up.
40
minutes. Yeah. Think so?
Yeah.
The heaviest for sure.
Heaviest and like the most action.
I always complained for season after season, nothing's fucking happening in the show, and so like
when they have to wrap it up, man.
When things move, I appreciate it, and a lot of stuff happens.
Every episode, they're making moves.
They have to.
It's not like episode 9 is going to be like usual, like we've talked about. But
it's not all build up anymore, which I really appreciate.
It's great, man. Any final thoughts from you guys?
Fucking great show.
Great show.
Yeah.
Go watch fucking Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And do not start it on season 7 like some of my coworkers did.
Wait,
like
what?
A bunch of idiots. And they're like, I don't get it. And I was like, That's why you don't get it. Yeah. They're like, why would you do... They're like,
the fuck?
They're like, this is the most boring show I've ever seen. And I was like, what are you talking about? They're like, I don't know who anyone is. No shit, you don't know who anyone is.
Like, Star Trek episode 1, season 1,
they're like, that takes too much time? Oh my god, go jerk off or something.
I understand, like, I don't want to watch 7 seasons of a show.
But you wouldn't start
on 7. You just don't watch it then.
Yeah.
Oh,
all right, guys.
That's really good.
Great episode.
Like,
we wrapped it up.
Subscribe.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Join the conversation. What do you guys think? Matt, I know that he writes us books.
Yeah.
I love it every time.
Hell yeah,
Matt
dude.
Troxler just writing down all of his thoughts. So I love reading that.
Dude,
Matt.
if Matt ever comes down to Phoenix, dude, we'll put you in an episode as a special guest.
Let's do it.
That would be awesome.
We'll put you up in the Hilton.
Thank you to Drew, my Oracle.
Shout out to Drew.
Oracle
Drew.
Survive this show because he's all knowledgeable and shit.
Yeah,
he's like the Bran of Game of Thrones right now.
Yeah.
The Bran.
He just knows all.
He's our 3-eyed raven.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
All right. We will catch you next Monday.
Later.
Peace.